Hello and welcome back to Separated by Water podcast. Apologies for being a few minutes late. Few technical difficulties. The FA Cup magic is back. So we're here to preview that tonight with, first of all, Ratty from Wrexham, deputed to the podcast. Ratty, how are you? And thank you for joining us.
I'm very well, thank you. I really appreciate this. Yeah, really happy to be on. So I'm good to go.
Yes, great. Thanks for joining us. And also
You're very
joining us,
welcome.
back with us again, Dave. How are you, Dave?
All right, thank you. Yeah, all good. All down there in the frosty West Country,
Yeah, yeah. Brilliant.
waiting for the snow.
It's frosty here. No snow yet, but we do have the frost. I know Colin has a bit of snow up where he is as well. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk about the Wrexham Forest game. We'll then talk about the Forest West Ham game tonight, which is maybe a more important game to be talking about the considering where we are in the league. Then we'll talk about the Spurs Villa game, and then we'll talk about the managerial movements. I'm only one half of this podcast. Colin is the other. Colin, how are you, my friend?
I am surprisingly good, despite the second half collapse against Sunderland. Not too bad. Looking forward to the FA Cup. It's always a week I like. Although the small matter of Bournemouth tomorrow night, but we'll get there anyway. I love the FA Cup. I'm old enough to remember when it really, really meant something. I can remember the 1967 final against Chelsea, which was a victory. I can remember the other subsequent wins and the 87 against Coventry. So it's a big tournament for me. I absolutely love it. And you know the good thing, league form and budgets and systems and strategies and all that don't really matter. And when the two teams are walking out in front of a packed racecourse ground at the weekend, under the lights, one wee mistake, one wee flash of brilliance can change the whole thing, make a hero or a villain. That's how exciting it is. I suppose from Forest's point of view, you were trying to handle the expectations. You want to stay up. You don't want to become the story because giant killings are the best story of the lot. From Wrexham's side, there's a chance probably, and Roddy, you'll be able to confirm this, but you want to keep the glamour going. You want to keep the excitement going that's been running for the next few years. Whether you go up or not this season, you want to keep that moving. I think that'll be brilliant. So let's hear from Rat and Dave. How to break this down, and we'll have a look at certain aspects of it and get a Wrexham and a Forest perspective. Okay, Paul, do you want to kick us off?
We'll do, Colin. I'll ask Ratty the questions. You ask Dave the questions. Ratty, home advantage. The racecourse. The racecourse is known for being hostile and big nights. You've new stands there making a big noise. Is that crowd going to be leveling the playing field for us? You've won 4 in a row. We've lost 4 in a row. How's it going to go? Will the crowd level it for you?
Well, certainly. The crowd has been fantastic this season, as it has since we come from the National League. Every fan is behind us now. The team, everybody's bought into everything what's been building. I see this game no different. I really do think that we have been the 12th man this season. When we have been playing not so good football wise, I think the crowd has just brought us on and just galvanised us, on the pitch, in key moments. So I do think, yes, it's going to be very loud on Friday nights. I do. I can see, especially, it's a meaty game. It's a Premiership game. A Premiership team that's coming to us. Yes, we've had it in the past, and the buzz and the vibe around the town, or the city, I should say now, is just out of this world, and you can just, I know in work people are talking about the game, and it's, but when we come Friday nights under them floodlights, I know it's going to be a roar. I know that. I know it. So it's
Okay.
Good stuff.
All right. Dave, from a
Yep.
Forest point of view, okay. You've heard it. You're the Premiership club, not without your troubles at the minute. How seriously are you as supporters taking the competition? You know, is it a must-win, or do you expect rotation given your league position?
I think a big part of it will depend on what happens tonight. Because if we get beat tonight, I don't think he can play that first team on Friday night. You know, the last few seasons we've played in the third round, fourth round, fifth round, and he's played the reserves. You know what I mean? As a club, but I don't know whether Sean Dyche is going to look at this as a trophy he could go far in. But then again, we got the Europa League to contend with as well. So I'm expecting a second string side to play on Friday night, which I don't agree with because like you said, Colin, that it's a big favourite, you know, like the FA Cup, and I want to do well in it. It's one of the oldest competitions in the world, and I think it should be respected. But I think over years, staying in the Premiership is a lot bigger than winning the FA Cup. So I am expecting changes. I know. I've seen like the first few episodes of, you know, like the Welcome to Wrexham programme, and their fans will be up for it. And I think that what's happening at that club at the moment is absolutely fantastic. What's happening there, because their story at Wrexham, it kind of reminds me of like at Forest. You know, they had years and years of relegations, of boring football, of not going anywhere, of being static, the club nearly getting sold or going out of business. And we had that, you know, like as well. But then, like the last 2 years for us, we've been on a wave, and all of a sudden that wave is just starting to come crashing down on us now. But with the likes of Wrexham, their wave is still going up and up and up, and they've had 4 or 5 years of it now, I suppose. So I know they're going to be up for it. I know it's going to be loud. It's going to be hostile for us to go there. But that's what makes the FA Cup magic.
Certainly does. And
Yeah.
I think Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds, amongst others, will be licking his lips at the thought of maybe a second string Forest coming. Anyway, okay, Paul.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dave, and I have to echo what you say about the FA Cup. FA Cup's very special to me. I don't know. I didn't really concentrate in the league when I was younger. The FA Cup always seemed to be the magical thing. Just before we proceed, there's quite a few people watching us now. Throw in your comments for Ratty or Dave, and we'll put the questions to them. Ratty, we've talked about us putting out a second string team. Do you think that after winning 4 in a row and you're looking like you might get into the playoffs, or you think key players might be managed, or what do you think will happen on Friday night? Is this an important match for you, or is promotion to the Premiership more important? What do you think they'll do?
every game's important to Wrexham. That's I think Phil Parkinson instills in the players, and I honestly think, like from this season, he's resting players in key areas. He's not afraid to play anybody in his squad. He's got 100% in any part of the side, from the keeper. You know, I don't think he'll like double bluff or anything. The team he puts out he thinks that will get a result. That's Parky's way of thinking. And whether they put a second string side out, there's no such thing really as such. Well, there shouldn't be. Not from a Premiership team, I don't think. But all he'll think is whoever's on that pitch, you've got to front it up and you've got to play the best and you will win. I honestly, I don't think he'll. If you play a full strength team, he won't feel any difference. I don't think he'll put that side out what he thinks that will be committed and to win that side.
Yeah. Okay. I would just like to pay a personal word of appreciation to Phil Parkinson. He's been around for quite a few years.
Yeah.
And I think he was badly treated by certain clubs, over his career.
Yeah.
And I always thought there was a good manager in there given the chance. And I think he's proven that. Certainly to me with Wrexham, he's handled everything that's been thrown at him, particularly the expectations. And I hope they don't get silly. If they don't go up this year, I hope they don't get silly about it, because I think they're still building.
I don't think they will.
I've watched them a few times this year, and I like what I see. I like their style. I like their, what I would call their patience, and hopefully I do see them making more progress. Okay, Dave, you probably, maybe answered this to a certain degree, but just to draw it out, is it as stark as the team for us play on Friday will be dictated by tonight's result, and therefore the FA Cup is obviously lesser than points?
I don't. Well, I think in that lot, because we've still got 2 cup competitions we're playing in at the moment.
Yeah.
And we're trying to survive in the Premier League, which I think we will do. But I mean, I was trying to climb the Premier, the league. We're still in the Europa League. We're still trying to qualify for that, for the next round of that, and we've got the FA Cup. I don't think we can fight on all fronts, because obviously the Europa League is going to be starting back up again next week as well, and things. So it's something it's got to give. I would rather see us go further in the Europa League and try and concentrate on that as to regards to the FA Cup, because I'm not expecting us to send out, like are you Milenkovic, are you Murillo's, your Jesus up there, and you know what I mean, and things like that. I'm not expecting that. So what happens on the day, I don't know. But after seeing the second string we've had out, like in the early rounds of the FA Cup last year, some of the Carling Cup games this year at Swansea away and things like that, I don't know what's going to happen up there, but I know it's going to be hostile there. I know it's going to be an amazing night for Wrexham fans up there, having like a Premiership team come, because obviously because they want to be playing Premiership teams every week, and they've got their own ambitions to come. So it's a chance for them to stamp their authority on it and say, we deserve to be in the Premier League. That's what we need, and that's where we should be. And it's a chance for them to fight for it. But for us, I don't. I think. I think like if you're a Wrexham fan, like you're Ratty there, but if the roles was reversed and they was in the Premiership and they was fighting to stay up, would they take it seriously this weekend?
Hard to know.
Yes, a fair point. Ratty, I have to confess, I haven't got to see Wrexham at all this year. So where do you think you can hurt Forest tactically? I think are set pieces. Is it passing direct play, low block? Where are your strengths? Where can you hurt us?
Set pieces. We're not really noted for set pieces.
That's good. That's good from our point of view.
Yeah, but Phil Parkinson,
they'll score straight from a corner.
With him, he might have been studying that, had his boys on that to utilise. You never know with it. It's honestly strengths, weaknesses. Yeah, it's a tough one.
Lost it.
Lost it.
Lost. Oh, you're back.
Yeah.
You're back, buddy. We lost you there for a minute. You're back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. We're scoring goals. We're quite technical, really, for the midfield. We've got lads dropping in. Yeah, it's fun. We're all over the pitch. I don't think there's any strengths and weaknesses in how he sets up. The game just seems to flow. How he sets it up, and it's what's to be is to be. You know, we invite teams to come on us and soak up pressure, and then we can let off the break. It's really is. It's his formation. It can either hit a brick wall, or it can just fly and run and run and run. You know, it really is. It's going to be really intriguing Friday. You know, how he does, who he puts in midfield, who his team selection. You know, is massive. You know, for Saturday, for Friday nights. I really don't know, but aerial, yes. You know, Cleworth. You know, he's very good in the air. Corners, we can score off corners. We can. You know, especially Moore. God, you know, like he's scored a few, hasn't he? You know, especially like that. You know, against Watford. Yeah, there's a lot of it. I wouldn't just say in one direction, but where he's going to play it. I know that. So it's going to be very, very interesting.
Okay. Dave, just to put this now, you've heard what Rat said, and you were speculating about the lineup. If you were in the changing room on Friday evening, what would you be warning Forest against and to be careful about if you were in addressing them there?
It's just going to be a loud, I think, like a loud old school ground in your face, like shouting at you, England Wales again. You know, it's got it all. It's got all the hallmarks of being a classic football match, really. But having said that, it'd probably be a boring 0-0, and one of us will win on penalties, just like we did last year. But it should be a good game. But one thing I'd like to ask Ratty, because he must know like his best 11 at Wrexham, or his 12, 13-man squad, something like that. Would he be disappointed if they put out a second string side on Friday? Chasing the playoffs, obviously, in the Championship. What's the biggest goal?
Well, for him, if it's a second string team, he's probably got nothing to lose, has he? Anyway,
No.
You know, whatever they field, Forest field, he'll feel that he's got a chance, whether it's the first team or the second team side. He will think, lads, we're going to win this, or we can win this. We've got a good chance. You know, that's how he thinks, and you know, he will not deviate. That's one thing for Parky. He sticks to his guns, and you know, whether it comes off, it comes off. 90% in the last 4 to 5 years, it's come off.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? And I agree with you. I think it is going to be a hostile. Well, not hostile night. I think it's got the makings of a really, really good FA Cup time.
Yeah.
You know.
You're going to be loud. You're going to be loud. You're going to be up for it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, it's like.
So is it a free hit for? Is it a free hit for Wrexham then? Is it a free hit for you?
Yes.
You know, it doesn't really matter.
Like we're pushing up the table in the league. Yeah, I mean expectations. You know, this year, all the fans that I talk to, you know, let's stay up. Let's or you know, if we can finish mid-table, it'd be great. You know, it's staying up in this division. You know, this is, you know, but this is a one-off game. You know, you know, that is over like 40 odd games, but this is a one-off game, and any true fan, you know, with the FA Cup, the tradition, the what's the word I'm looking for? The accolade of winning, you know, the FA Cup. There's not many teams that's done it. There's teams that do it year in, year out. You know, the Chelseas, the Man Cities, the Manchester United, the Liverpools. You know, them names are on the cup, but numerous times. You know, the likes of Forest. You know, it's a brilliant cup to win. You know, especially if you're not winning silverware. It's a boost in the arm, you know, for all the fans that come and watch week in, week out. You know, it's a day out to Wembley. It's magical. You know, I think it is. You know,
I agree.
And this is old school
right.
way of thinking of football. You know,
you know, Roddy, when you think about
Oh,
Crystal
you're right.
Palace, Crystal Palace last season, look at the day they had. You know,
absolutely fantastic.
I would love a day like that.
Newcastle, you know, I know it's not the FA Cup, but Newcastle.
I remember.
How many times did they get the chance? You know,
you
ask a Newcastle fan, what would it mean to win the FA Cup? They'd think,
ask
give
me
it any day. You know. And I just think it's a cup that's you know, every young lad's dream of playing in an FA Cup final. You know, it doesn't matter whether it's Hartlepool or whoever. You know, you just want to be in it to win it. You know,
professional sport. Yeah, you're right. It's based on dreams sometimes, and I hope Phil Parkinson actually plays his best 11 because those players deserve the opportunity to test themselves against Forest. You know. And for that reason alone, I think they've played all season in order to get an opportunity like this. You know, if I were Forest's manager, I was saying, right, guys, you have 2 games in 3 days, win them both, and let's see where we'll go from here. Okay, injuries. You can get injured in training, you can get injured crossing the road. You know, I think the players can muster this. And, you know, you see if you're tired, anyone walking onto the racecourse ground on Friday night, if they're tired, they won't be tired within 30 seconds when they hear that noise and realise what's on here, you know. And I think it would be great for both, you know, if Gibbs White and these people are on, trying to dictate the play against people who are biting away at their ankles. I think it'll be a great cup tie. Has the potential. Yeah. Okay. Probably one last question for David Away. Can Forest, you probably say they can, but I'm going to ask you, can they afford to lose this? Can they afford to be victims of a giant killing? Or will that actually send them on a downward trajectory?
Well, I don't. Would it be a giant killing if Wrexham, like a proper giant killing if Wrexham beat Forest? You know, I don't. You know what I mean? It's not like a League One or League Two side beating. You know what I mean? The 9th in the Premiership, the 9th in the Championship. I think they're pushing for playoffs. They've won their last 4. We're struggling at the moment. You know, it's probably why it's been picked for TV because they're expecting. They're expecting a good game or Wrexham.
They'll call it a giant killing. Don't you worry.
But I don't. We can afford to lose this game, because I'm not, I wouldn't expect us to play our best team all the way through the competition. You know what I mean? We got to the semi-final last year and we didn't play our best team really until we got to the semi-final. And even when we got to the semi-final, it wasn't really on, our number 1 team out there, was it? Zach Abbott started in it and things like, so I couldn't... a lot of the Premiership teams down in around the bottom, or even the ones at the top, don't really play their first teams in this competition, and I can't understand why. Because when you look at what Palace did last year and got to the final and won it, you know what I mean. That could be Forest, that could be your Everton or your Villas, or you know what I mean, or your Bournemouths or your Brightons or someone like that. You know, it could be, but nobody really seems to take it seriously these days.
Well, they're fools, I think.
They are fools,
and win it. And I think it's a wonderful occasion.
It's fantastic.
I'm looking forward to it immensely. I don't know how many of our crew are going to it, Dave. Ratty, tell me, heart over head, how do you see it going? And give us your predictions, please.
How do we see it going? I think it's going to be a good game. I think it will be two sides, good sides, going for it Friday night. I think it's going to be close. I do, like you say, could nip it by the odd goal, 1-0, but I can't see it. I can see it being a good FA Cup tie, where both teams are going to go for it. So predictions, like you say, we've come on the back of a 4-game unbeaten. Yeah, so our tails are going to be up. Yes, I get that, but at the end of the day, I know we're going to be playing a quality side, and and it cannot be wrote off. So, yeah, who knows? We could snatch victory, because we got home advantage, at the end of the day, which I could see that could be key for us.
Okay.
But
Angus asked us there, could we get a repeat of Wrexham v Arsenal in 1983? I remember.
I would love
game.
that. I would love that. Yeah, I'm Mickey Thomas.
Most
I would
certainly.
love that. Yeah.
I was there for that day.
As a Spurs man, I love that one.
When Mickey put the ball down, I was at the back of the flight of that ball, and I just I ended up at the bottom of the Kop, and I was more or less at the top. It was unbelievable. Yeah,
very good.
And there's no reason why any Wrexham or Forest player can't produce anything like that. I think it is going to be a good game on Friday.
I think I'm going to put you on the spot and give me a score. Give me a prediction. Give me a score. Is it going to 90 minutes, and what's the score going to be?
I think it probably will go to 90 minutes, and I'm going to say 2-1 Wrexham. I've got to, haven't I?
Oh,
okay. Dave, Dave, give us your numbers.
I think if Forest win, it's going to be over penalties. If we win,
okay.
I think that Wrexham's going to score, and I don't think we've got 2 goals in us. So I think if we win, it's going to be on penalties. So I'll go for a Forest win on penalties.
I agree with you, Dave. I think it'll go. I think it'll be a draw. I think it'll be a draw at full time, and I think we'll win it in penalties. That's what I think is going to happen.
That's what
I think.
Okay.
It's a cracking game.
I predict Wrexham 2-1. Wrexham 2-1. You've heard it here.
Wrexham 2-1. There you go. There you go. Ratty, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
If you would do a wee match vlog for us on your phone and send it to us, we'd be happy to put it up and hashtag Wrexham all over it. And but thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
We really appreciate the input, and if there's any future games with Wrexham or anything that could come.
You're breaking up. Can you say that again, Paul, please?
Just saying it, Ratty, would you consider coming back on with us?
Yeah, if you'll have me, yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's been really good.
We will.
Okay then.
Good luck with this season,
Thank you very much,
Ratty. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll wish you. I won't wish you all the best on Friday night. Just as long as it's a good game and everybody gets home safe from it. And thanks very much, Ratty. We'll be in.
Just make sure you beat Derby this year. Just beat Derby this year. That's it.
Thanks, Ratty. just keep beating Derby. Just keep beating Derby. Thanks, Ratty. Top man. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, man. There we go, mate. That was great. So, that's going to be a massive game, I think. But we also have to discuss a massive game tonight. If you're listening into us, please throw your comments in. We're also going to discuss, after the Forest West Ham game tonight, we're going to discuss the Spurs Villa game, and we're going to talk about the managerial doors at Chelsea and Man United. Tonight's game, Colin, what do you think? What's going to happen tonight?
Well, to set the scene, I think it is almost do or die. I know Forest are 4 points ahead of West Ham. West Ham at home, and you couldn't have more. You couldn't have written the script. I think it's for Forest. They need to avoid defeat, otherwise, you're in trouble. And Sondheit's stats will not look anyway good anymore. If West Ham can't rouse themselves for this game, I don't know. They deserve to go down. And they've looked pretty poor. And I've watched them. And as I said in the last podcast, I have nothing alone with Spur. I've nothing against West Ham. I've seen some good West Ham teams over the years. But in this one being objective, I think that it could end up a draw. And I say that I think the play, I think Forest will shade the play, but maybe just not get their noses over the line, which will suit them to a certain extent,
Yeah, Dave, I don't think I spoke to you since the Villa game. The first half of the Villa game, I can't remember watching a worse exhibition of Nottingham Forest football in many, many years. I couldn't believe Deitch set up that way against Villa, and surely he's not going to do that tonight. Surely he's going to come out and push and fight, and he can't lie back against West Ham tonight, can he?
No, he won't. I know we texted each other earlier, and you told me you wasn't looking forward to tonight, Paul, and things like this. I feel quite relaxed over tonight for some strange reason. I don't know why. I just feel relaxed over tonight. That I think we'll turn up tonight. I think it will be the Forest team that turned up against Tottenham and Liverpool, rather than the Forest team who turned up against Everton and Villa. I just think down there we've had a short turnaround from that Villa match. Jumped straight back on the horse tonight against West Ham. And I can see us winning comfortably tonight, I think. I think we can silence whatever fans they've got left there singing at the ground, and I just think it's just going to be a good night for us tonight, and I can't see anything else apart from a Forest win. I went there last year to West Ham away. I think we played them towards the end of the season and we beat them there. It was just a match that we played that I was never in any worry, any doubt at all during the day, during the match, and I can see that again tonight, really. And I think it will be a repeat of what we did at Leicester last year. Was it last year when we were singing Cooper's name in the stand when we was beating them by comfortably, and I can see that again tonight. Us winning comfortably and singing Nuno's name for the last 5 minutes of the match, which will probably signal the end of him.
I hope so. Yeah, well, we'll come to managerial stuff. I think it could signal problems for both managers if something goes wrong tonight. But we'll wait and see. It's like a 7-pointer tonight, guys. It's more than it just seems a whole lot more than 6. Like if we win tonight, we'll go 7 points ahead. If we don't, we're just 1 point ahead. It's a massive swing can happen tonight, and it just worries me. John Victor, he was blamed for 2 of the goals. Is he injured? Do you stick with Victor? I don't know. Did you see that? Did you see the Aston Villa game, Colin? I think he wasn't injured. He was just embarrassed.
He wasn't injured. That's a classic example. We was up there on the top tier, and you could just see that he wasn't injured. He's just made an absolute howler of himself. Made himself look stupid in front of 50,000 there, whatever. It was just one of them where I need to be injured now and go off and try and save face. It's just one of them things. It's a howler. We all do it day in, day out of our jobs. We all make mistakes and that. You know what I mean? And stuff. Yeah. So I don't think he was injured, and I think Sells comes back in.
Yeah.
I think he's
a better goalkeeper. Sells.
Yeah.
Anyway, personally,
I'm surprised he lost his first spot. Surprised he lost his number 1 spot. I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. I'm wearing the same underwear, socks that I wore at the Spurs game at the City Ground a month ago. Just hoping that it brings all the luck that we had that day.
Hopefully hopefully you've watched them since the Spurs game.
I have watched
Oh,
them
I wonder.
since very carefully. Very carefully.
Yeah.
He hasn't
Oh,
been
dear,
home
oh,
yet.
dear.
He's still out celebrating that one.
Oh, what a day. What a day out. What a day out.
Oh, all right. Let's move
yeah.
on.
Yeah, go on then. Colin, what have you got for us?
Well, no, I'm not just saying in terms of. Well, are we moving to the next topic then?
No.
have
Well,
you
I
anything
thought you had some
more?
questions for us about the Forest game. First of all, the Forest West Ham game tonight.
Well, I thought we're talking through there. I mean, where do we go from that? There's no, in many ways, this is, it's a 6-point or 7-point or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's really a cup final of cup finals, and will be the test of both teams in terms of the resolve, and the test of both teams in terms of the manager's tactical nous, how they set up and how they change it if things aren't going well. There's more impetus, or more pressure probably on West Ham because they're 4 points behind and they're at home. And there's a lot of negativity going on, even worse than Spurs, about their ownership. So, you've answered what I was thinking. Dave, you're happy as Larry here. You're relaxed. You're going to pull out a cigar because what's your prediction of the result then?
I think we'll beat him 2 or 3-0 tonight down there. I think.
Yeah.
Right. You're right.
Paul?
I really do. I hope. I think at the minute we're lacking something in the midfield, Dave. A Yatesy style character who I know he's injured. I just don't. I feel Anderson's a wonderful midfield player, but I don't feel that he's offering that voice in the midfield, talking to people. I know Gibbs White is our captain, but I think we need somebody in the midfield who can replace his leadership skills. Like who can give us that Roy Keane, that Brian Robson in the midfield? Is there anybody in our team that can do that?
I think someone who's been fantastic this year, given a continuous run of matches, is Sangare. I think he's been brilliant for us this year in there, but obviously he's gone off to the African nations now. He's over there, which couldn't have come at a worse time for us, really.
No.
But I've always liked Dominguez in there. I like him. He's a bit ratty. He'll fly in. He'll go into the tackles. He'll break up play. But we are lacking something because if Anderson doesn't tick in there, we don't tick if Anderson doesn't tick. I mean, Gibbs White's been offered this year. So we're kind of relying on Anderson a lot at the moment. And if he doesn't tick, the team doesn't tick. Unfortunately, there's quite a lot of Forest players, including all the ones from last year. It was fantastic, apart from Anderson, who's gone missing this year throughout. And I'll even put the likes of Milenkovic, as Murillo in that bracket as well. And they've done stupid things this year, which last year was uncharacteristic of them too. And whether it just comes down to a confidence thing.
The two Villa goals at the weekend, I thought Milenkovic was just a couple of feet short as well, and a couple of tackles. He was behind. He was slow getting in. So hopefully that doesn't happen tonight. Hopefully they're on their game tonight. So you're predicting a win? Sorry.
Is there anyone in the West Ham team you fear?
Bowen.
Yeah, McGinn.
Concerned about Bowen. Yeah,
probably
is it McGinn? What do you call him? He's Scottish player.
No, but he's West Ham Villa. He already did the damage. I think Jared Bowen probably.
Bowen, sorry,
he
that's
seems like he seems like a sort of lone. He looks like a lone ranger at the minute, doesn't he? Paqueta.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's touch and go. He's in and out. He doesn't really excite me too much. I'm not sure about the couple of guys that appears to have signed here, part of his agency. So Bowen, I think I would feel the same way about that too. And maybe you close him down, you close West Ham down.
Yeah.
Well, let's be clear about this. Nuno wants to get his own back in Marinakis tonight. This is probably his last chance that he's going to get it to bite Marinakis on the ass. I think that he's going to try everything. He knows our team inside out. He's going to set up his best setup to defend against us. He probably knows what to expect. I just hope Deitch doesn't lie back. I hope Deitch sends him out and goes, Go and play some football, lads, and score and get the result that we need, because we need these 3 points tonight. There's a question for both of you. Is this a 3-pointer for necessity? Is 3 points a necessity for both teams here?
No, not for us. I think it is
No.
for West Ham, but I don't think it is for us. You know, I look at, you know, like we said that when we played against Tottenham, as in Liverpool, this one was brilliant against them two teams, and I've got no doubt in my mind that there'll be 6 or 7 games this season from now, and we'll produce them kind of performances that we had against Tottenham, as in Liverpool, and pick points up. You know,
Right.
and whether that's
Yeah.
tonight or other teams, you know, I've got no doubt that we're going to pick up points this year. But I think for West Ham, that if they lose tonight, they're 7 points behind us. The fans hate the owners, the players, you know, the stadium there, the whole infrastructure there. It's just a club that just seems from the outside, it's just rotten from the core upwards, you know.
Yeah, I think Luke Soon is trying to eat itself alive. The only thing would worry me from Forest's point of view is that if West Ham get any kind of momentum, you know, now Wolves seem to have got some, but it's too late, I think. And if they've got a bit of a run going, you know, that would be the only thing. If they lose tonight, if West Ham lose tonight, I could foresee, as you're saying, Dave, more rancor, more the crowd going mad and everything, and you know they'll eat themselves alive. But if they do win, he may be able to turn that into a, you know, otherwise you're really hoping, you know, it could get this done. If Leeds keep picking up points, Fulham took me to heart and have gone on a run. Sunderland up there, you know, it starts to get it. Then you start to work your way up to Tottenham. It starts to get a wee bit lonely in terms of you're hoping West Ham. You hope you get better results than West Ham, no matter what they are.
Yeah.
Big game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll wait and see. We've a load of people in the pod at the minute, and very few comments. I know Fergus put in a comment there a minute ago. We'll move on to the Villa Spurs game now. I'm quietly confident, and I'm going to predict a 2-1 victory tonight for us. But I don't have the bravado you have, Dave. I am absolutely wrapping myself, tell you the truth. I'm very nervous about this one, you know. Right. But if you've any comments you want to throw in about your manager's been sacked, I know there's a Colin prediction for tonight. Did you already get
a draw tonight? A draw. I think it could be a 1-1 or 2-2. Let me go for 1-1 draw. Sadly, okay, I think for both teams.
Okay, Colin, Spurs Villa.
Yeah,
and then we'll go on to the who will be taking this game more seriously? Will you Villa take it more seriously, or will you be resting players? What will happen? Tell us what you think is going to happen.
What for? Usually the players come onto the pitch and rest. You know, from my point of view, I think Villa will take it seriously. But we have to take it seriously. When you think about it, we're not in the Europa League this year. We're out of the League Cup. We're not going to win the league, I don't think. And I don't think we're going to win I don't think we're going to win the Champions League. So this is our chance. It's our chance for a bit of redemption. A home game. I know our home form's terrible, but this is an opportunity, and I just, for heaven's sake, take it. So we'll be taking it very, very seriously. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you sold out for it? Have you sold out for the match?
Sold out, yeah. As far as I know, yeah. I see, my season ticket goes up for sale, you know, and there's a big in the FA Cup they give a bigger portion to the away fans.
Yeah.
So they've taken where I would normally sit. So it's sold out, yeah. Okay. No, it'd be a big occasion. Certainly, probably the biggest. Maybe it and Brighton are the two, you know, of the heavyweights playing, and Villa are certainly on form. I'm hoping Villa maybe take their eye off the ball a little bit, but we've got to turn up and win our own game, you know.
Yeah.
Who's the most to lose?
Yeah.
Most to lose, I think. Spurs.
Well, Villa won't turn up with a full strength side. I don't think that. You know, because they're going to the league top 4, aren't they? They still got the Europa League and that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I hope you're right.
yeah.
But having said that, I think that Villa would like to win a trophy, and I think it's probably a good squad of players there. And as I say, a squad 17, 18. If they do rest a couple, that's good. But we can't afford to rest anyone. Don't have anyone to rest, and I'm hoping that might be a wee bit of light at the end of the tunnel. Villa came in 1-1-0. We had a very good run against Villa over the years, and then they've turned that around a wee bit. And beat us in the cup last year. So we owe them one. So if I were, as I asked you the question before, David, if I were in the changing room with Spurs, I would be saying, right, you've got 19 minutes to show us all and the rest of your lives to regret it. So get on with this. And no fanning about in the second half, thinking we've won the match. Because that was hard to watch in the second half. A good performance on the front foot in the first half, diabolical in the second half. Now, why was the manager starting watching that and not trying to change it earlier? I'm not sure. But I think we don't have a surplus of players. I think Kudus is now injured. We've let Brennan Johnson go. Wonderful. That's what happens. But we have most to lose by losing this game. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think if Tottenham lose, it's going to be like a disaster. Another nail in your manager's coffin and things like that there. But I think if Villa lose, it's just going to be rubbed off that we got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, they'll do that, and of course they will. And I understand that. And Spurs for years under Poch, had been kind of poo-pooing the FA Cup because they were going for the Champions League Champions League place, or even the Champions League itself. Yeah. And it was something that I never really warmed to, because I'd say I'm old enough to be a fan of the FA Cup. I love cup competitions. The excitement we had last year winning the Europa League. I hope you guys do it this season. It's wonderful. And how many other teams are going to win anything apart from this, I think that players should be given the opportunity to play in a cup competition, a knockout, get the fans up, really go for it. And it's how many games does it take to win the FA Cup? It's not as if they're being exhausted. We're not asking them to run a marathon. We're asking them to play 90 minutes of football, and for God's sake, do it, So that's my feeling.
Yep. Sean Bartlett, Evan, good luck tonight, lads. Wrexham fan. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to seeing you on Friday night. Dave, you any questions for Colin on the Villa game, or anything you want to cover?
No, I don't think so. I think he's covered it all really in that. I just think the match is bigger for Tottenham than it is for Villa, really. But it's what kind of Tottenham's going to turn up again. I will it be the Tottenham that turn up at Forest? Or will it be a Tottenham team that wants to win? There,
hopefully the latter.
Moving on from that, as a segue into the managerial sackings, I'll ask you one question, Colin, in closing on the Villa game. If you lose this, is that Thomas Frank's first step to the door out of Spurs, or what do you think? Is he?
I don't think it's his first step.
Does FA Cup already? Does FA Cup matter to them? Does it?
It should. If it doesn't, it should. If it doesn't, it should. And it should matter to him. And he saw the excitement that Ange created last year in the Europa League. And he can do that. And Spurs love the FA Cup. And if he gives it a real go, we will be with him all the way. To answer your question, if he loses, there'll be a lot of pressure for him to go. Some people saying he needs time. Some people saying in the time he's had, he's proven he can't do it. The interesting thing is, the rumours are Spurs are going to spend big in this window. Well, haven't spent a penny yet. And if they are, who are they going to entrust that money to? Whose advice are they going to take about the players they're going for? Or will it be another bum steer and we'll go through another Levy-Enoch style window with nothing? And everyone's you really had enough of that. Really, really had enough of that. So the FA Cup is a route here for Spurs to get some glamour, to get some winning feeling again. Yeah, and a trophy.
Something from this season. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Dave, you texted me earlier and said, "Are we going to discuss the Man United and Chelsea managers we sacked?" We are. We both Colin had said to me earlier, and you said what do you feel about this? I'll start with you, Dave. What do you feel about these managers being sacked? Are the players? I sometimes think the managers are taking responsibility for the lack of effort by the players, and it just seems to be manager after manager and manager.
I just think that these days the players have got far too much power these days, and these managers aren't being called managers anymore. They're just coaches, So if a group of players wants to get a manager out, she can do it. Because they're all on these multi-million-pound contracts, and things like that. But I think at the moment that if you're gonna sack a manager at the moment, I don't think you're gonna get any high-profile managers to come in to replace their managers. Because in sort of like a 4 or 5 months' time, we've got the World Cup coming up. And there's going to be, you know what I mean? And there could be, you could have like the Brazil job up for grabs. The England job could be up for grabs. Your Portugal, your Germany jobs could be all up for grabs. So I don't think you'll see any major managerial moves for people until after the World Cup. When the likes of Tuchel could become available for people, a Pochettino, your Carlo Ancelotti could become available, and that's I think with all these managers, they could just be like intern managers, until the end of the season, and then seeing what happens at the World Cup. Because I'd imagine this year you could have the potential of between like 8 and 12 good managers up for grabs who's on the merry-go-round at the moment.
Yeah.
Good point.
Do you know?
In fact,
I'll let you go ahead. No, go ahead, Colin.
No, the only thing, the point you made there, David, I think United are interviewing for an interim manager between Carrick, Fletcher, and Ole Gunnar.
Solskjaer, wasn't it?
Believe it or not,
Yeah, Solskjaer again. Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, Paul.
Well, the thing that strikes me, and I would love to hear the Man United fans' view in this, and I know there's 2 or 3 listening to it, and somebody close to you mentioned it as well, Colin. They wanted Amon to be given a chance, where his percentage of wins was down in the 30%, whenever Solskjaer and Eric Ten Hag was up in the 50-odd percent, near 60%. And the fans almost become part of this. We're building on something new. We're going to keep waiting. We're going to keep on building on it and build on it. And then all of a sudden, at the worst possible time, I think he chose when he wanted to be sacked. I think he decided, I'm going to make this statement, and a bit like the Maresca statement, and then he's out the door. So I think that it was a massive. He picked his own time, but I think it was a very, very strange time to be going. I think it's why not leave it in the season?
I bet you could say that as well, because that's almost like what happened with Nuno when he come out and spoke out against it. Like I do, and actually Mr. Marinakis as well. Once he said that, Nuno, all the Forest fans, we all basically turned around and said, well, that's him now. That's him done. She lasted a week after that or whatever. It's almost same with Amarin as well, but he lasted like 24, 48 hours.
Prior to that, I think I should say that Mourinho at Spurs and Conte at Spurs did summer. And Mourinho wanted to pick a team for the League Cup final, and Levy allegedly intervened in this and said he wanted to make sure we still had a mathematical chance of qualifying for the top 4. Mourinho allegedly said, well, maybe you should pick the team then, and that was that. Conte questioned why Spurs were so excited about finishing 4th, wanted to kick on, didn't get the support, and made the statements which made his position largely untenable, sadly for me. From the Amarin side of things, I mean, we did talk about Chelsea, and we had Daniel on, and now Rossinier, as predicted, has got a 6-year contract.
6 years,
To me, incredible, but that's up to him. I would sign it if I was offered it. If we look back, and United fans may or may not see it this way, what did they see in Amarin when they first went to him? And a couple of things I'd
Don't
thought
know.
of was that they might have liked. One was that, like Ferguson, X number of years ago, he broke the power axis of Porto and Benfica with Sporting Portugal or Sporting Lisbon, and drove that away, and Sporting had fallen away a wee bit, and he brought that back. Maybe that appealed to them in some way. The style of play he had there suited the way Sporting were set up, and they were doing well in Europe. And there was lots to like, I suppose. And the Portuguese, they're very punch above their weight a lot in terms of players and managers, as we know. And Fernandes has been there doing well for a number of years. Amarin, however, really did not want to go in November, December. He did not want to go mid-season. He insisted that he wanted to go at the end of that season, come in with a fresh start, blah, blah, blah. But he was told by the United hierarchy, it's now or never. Bonzo, get here now or don't. And obviously he did. And I get the feeling he was, always had that in the back of his mind, But, evidently the players could not, or your point, Dave, did not want to suit his style. And I think he was caught between two or three stools, in one way. There's an old saying, you've got to work with the rough clay you're given. And he seemed not to want to, because early in this calendar year, he made a remark about this being the worst United team ever. Well, that's not in my motivational playbook, And, he did he, and then it looked like
a shocking statement. It was a shocking statement.
What was he doing with them? If he said, right, you can't play this way, change it and gradually bring it in, I would have thought. That's what I would have thought. And managers are expected to come in and say, well, look, the old saying, you can't change the people, change the people. And that means if you can't get the ones you want, well, then work with the ones you have, This looking away during penalties I'd seen a few times. I don't know what that was about. But then the Radcliffe statement, which I've referred to a few times, seemed to settle everyone that said they had, which was, he's our manager and that's that. We're going to find out how good he is and blah, blah, blah. And for a while, United then started winning. But then whatever happened again, they seemed to fall off the back of the trailer. And then he started getting into his statements. And you're right, I think his latest statement, probably deliberately or inadvertently, brought to a head, and that was it. And I think as well as player power, Dave, to me, there's this new dynamic of tension between the manager or the head coach or whatever this person is and the owners who have a different way of running it, a more business-oriented model. Yeah. And, that needs to be resolved with teams. Otherwise, they're going to, churn out managers hand over fist year after year. And that's no good for anyone. These managers are dealing with guys who are 17, 18, 19, up to their late 20s. They're young. They're impressionable, and they do need leadership and an arm around the shoulder at times, a good kick in the backside at other times. Yeah, they're multimillionaires, but sometimes they're still children, I think he probably, I don't think his manner helped him in the end. And I think his manner with the press and everything, he maybe realised it was time to go and they'd had enough, which is a strange thing for a team like Man United. So there you go.
Well, there's a few things I want to say there. Yeah, well, they are, but and they are. There's no doubt about that. But I think that Man United isn't the prospect that it used to be, and people seem to think that. But I also think that there is a problem there with the board, certainly. And Amma says hello as well. Evening all, Amma. And are we ready for a 5-0 victory? I wish, Amma. I wish. But I think that you need to look at the players that he said weren't good enough to play in his team. I'll use Scott McTominay as one of them. Scott McTominay was chucked out of the team, and now he's away, and he's scoring. He's player of the match, player of the game almost every night. Player of the match every night.
He won the league with Napoli. And could win it again. Yeah.
Won the league with Napoli. Arthur's another one. There's so many that they've just thrown aside and said they're not good enough for Man United, and they went away. And at the time, I thought Scott McTominay should never have left, because he was scoring goals, vital goals at the time they needed it. So there's bad decisions being made, and financially, I'm not sure what's going on there either. There seem to be watching the pounds and throwing away the pennies. It seems to be a crazy way they're running things. But Anyway, Dave, who's going to the match tonight? That you know, is there anybody in our group going to the match tonight?
I'd imagine it's the usual bunch. I'd imagine Jack would be up there. I don't know about Emma. It was his birthday yesterday, wasn't it? So happy birthday for yesterday, Emma. He'll be somewhere that's hungover or asleep still. I expect somewhere out there. Bless him.
No, he dropped me a text to say they're not going to the game tonight. They're watching it in a pub in Birmingham. So
Are they?
maybe the celebrations are running on from yesterday. Yes, and I echo that as well. Happy birthday for yesterday, Amma. We'll have Amma on again soon. Okay, that's it. We've covered pretty much everything. Dave, thanks very much for rushing home.
Thank you, Dave,
and coming on with us.
Yep.
Yeah. Look forward to the game tonight. And look forward to the game on Friday night. When do you play Villa, Colin? Is it Saturday?
Spurs. Yeah. Well, the Bournemouth tomorrow night. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Right.
Bournemouth tomorrow night's the first one, and then a cup the weekend. Yeah. Excuse me.
Yeah, I was just about to go into a rant there about why are we playing on a Tuesday night and then going on into a
Spurs is Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. Which is tight.
Yeah, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, same thing. All right, guys. Anything you want to add, Dave, before we go? Any points or anything you want to say before we go, mate?
No, I'm all good. Apart from don't panic, Paul. It'll be all right tonight. It'll be all right. All right.
I hope you're right.
You'll get to know me, Dave, through time. I'm an awful. I wear my heart on my sleeve whenever Forest are playing. I pace the floor. I get so wound up. I can't calm myself. Honestly, you've no idea. I get so wound up about it. I've been the same for years and years and years.
We'll be all right tonight.
Yeovil Town. Do you remember that? I nearly put my feet through the TV that day, but anyway, that was a bad one.
With that there against Yeovil, because Yeovil's only about 15 miles down the road from me, isn't it? And they're like a big rival with Taunton's. It's a bit like, like your main rivalries you get in your leagues. Taunton's always Yeovil. And after they beat us that year, oh my Christ, I couldn't go to work the next day. I couldn't go to work the next day. Couldn't do it.
Chronic. It was absolutely chronic. It was horrible, absolutely desperate. I have to say, Colin, sorry, I never mentioned this to you. One of the funniest videos I got during the Christmas period was Becky put a message into her group chat, and it was a Wurzel party because they called Dave Wurzel for the accent, and he was at a Wurzel party, and I think what do you call them? We're playing the Combine Harvester. They were playing. It was funny as hell.
The Wurzel.
It's good. It's good. Well, where I live down here, quite a lot of supporters are Bristol City supporters down here.
No, it would be, yeah.
And that's their big songs they play before the match. We play like the Mull of King Ty, and they sing, drink up the cider and stuff like that. So whenever you go to a party, you always get the Wurzels come on down this way. And a lot when it does, it's always a floor filler. And Becky was just sat there coming from Birmingham thinking, what the hell am I at here? Right? And that's what she was at, Wurzel party.
It was funny. I played it a couple of times, had a good laugh to myself. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Thanks, Dave, once again. We'll have you on again soon. If you would do that for us, we'd be very grateful. Yes. Enjoy the match tonight. Enjoy the match tomorrow night, Colin. We'll chat to you over the week, and everybody who's going to the match, travel safe, and everybody take care of themselves. Thanks very much, guys. Thanks very much. Thanks for listening.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.